Hi, everybody. Welcome and thank you for joining us. I'm Mrs. Alsamari, principal at Star George. And we usually hold an event like this with a breakfast, have all of our parents into the building, welcome you and show you around and introduce all of the administrators in the building to kind of get to know each other more and, to provide information on support, different things that we do in the building, family engagement, volunteering opportunities, and so on. And this year, of course, due to the circumstances we're in, we don't want to stop getting to know you and for you to get to know us. And so we're doing this event in a live broadcast so that you get to know the SIAG administrative team, and so that way you know who to reach out to. And call us if you have questions or in need of support. So today I have the different admin team with me, and we're going to introduce everybody in a few minutes. Mr. Sharafuddin, if you can go ahead and show our PowerPoint so we can go through it. Wonderful. And you're all familiar with our beautiful building, and I always like to show off and the inside of and the outside of the building, because I, as a principal, I'm so proud of it and proud of all of our staff members and students and parents. Mrs. Hamadi continues to be our founder, of course, and this year she transitioned, as you all know, to a chairman emeritus executive. She continues to support all of the HES buildings, of course. She continues to provide help and visit us in the buildings to maintain that relationship and continue to the support throughout. Dr. Bazi, he is the president and superintendent. A lot of you have already met Dr. Bazi through, in person or via other live broadcast opportunities. He is there as well to provide continuous support to all the buildings, have that open communication. A lot of you have already had conversations with him. And so he's our president and superintendent of all schools of all of our academies. That's myself, Mrs. Alsamari. This is a picture from one of the family engagement events we used to have, where we had our students. This is before COVID. We had, I believe it was reading under the starlight in the gym. The kids brought their blankets and books, and this is one of my favorite pictures that I love being around children. And this is how you can reach me. You can have, I can be reached through different ways, but you're wondering what questions you have for me. Any questions throughout the building, I can answer. And of course, if there's a person that question needs to be directed to, I will direct it to them. So always call the school. You can make an appointment, or you see me out, at arrival, dismissal, be sure, feel free to talk to me during that time, or you can always email me at nalsamari@starpsa.org. That would be a great way also for me to communicate with you. We always value everybody's feedback. We want that information from you. This is how we continue to be a team and work together and make sure our children get the learning they need, and to ensure their safety, of course. Here's our next person, Mrs. Bazzi. You're on.
Thank you, Ms. Alsamari. Good afternoon, families. Happy Friday. My name is Osama Bazzi. To some of you, I may be a new face, but to others, a former second grade teacher many years ago for one of your kiddos. I am back and more excited than ever to introduce myself as the new coordinator of curriculum instruction in Title I. So basically, my job is to work with teachers on curriculum alignment and instruction. Looking forward to a fantastic year. Thank you, Ms. Alsamari.
And I meant to put up that information too, and I forgot. Mrs. Bazzi, Mr. Sharafuddin, can we put Miss Bazzi's video on again, just so that they can put a face to the voice? I think my video is on, or her screen. We can focus Mrs. Bazzi, so I think parents couldn't get to see who Mrs. Bazzi was as she was talking. Miss Bazzi, can you wave hi?
Hi, guys.
There we go.
There we are. Hi.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And Mr. Sharafuddin, if you can continue to do that while everybody's speaking, so that because we do have new administrative staff this year, we want to make sure our parents get to know. They meet us a lot throughout the day. They come in, they drop off. We want to make sure they know who they're talking to. So here's our next person. Oh, Mrs. Saleh is not actually here today. She did leave, and I think Mrs. Saleh could be one of the most popular people that works at SAIG. Most of you give her a call, you know, with questions on enrollment applications, attendance. She can help direct your questions to any of their staff members. So I believe you already know how to reach her. Call the school for specific questions on your child that are private and confidential. Definitely feel free to email Mrs. Saleh on her email nsaleh@starpsa.org. And Mama Nadia is next.
ماما نادية حلوة هادية. السلام عليكم. طبعا everybody أهلا وسهلا في الجميع في المستمعين، وأهلا وسهلا إني أنا أشوف إن شاء الله بكونوا كل الأهالي موجودين، وإن شاء الله أنا بتمنى إنه هيدي الجائحة إنها تزول بحيث إن نرجع نشوفكم أنتوا الأهالي والطلاب داخل المدرسة، لأنه إحنا يعني بدون الأهل وبدون الطلاب ما بنقدر نعيش، لأنه عن جد هن الحياة. والأولاد بالنسبة لنا والأهل إن نشوفهم موجودين في الهولوي بالنسبة لنا يعني حياة جديدة. وطبعا أنا بالنسبة لي أنا بعرف الكل، وإن شاء الله الكل بيعرفني، وإن خرجنا أولاد كلياتهم ما شاء الله صاروا بالجامعات. اسمي ماما نادية، أنا المسؤولة اللغة العربية في مدارس إحميدي. طبعا إحنا بالنسبة لنا بدأنا بتدريس اللغة العربية من البري سكول إلى الصف الثاني اللي هو الثاني عشر. بالنسبة للبري سكول طبعا إحنا بنبدأ معاهم من الحرف، بعدين ثم الكلمة ثم الجملة، ثم نعمل على تكوين فقرات. في عنا بالنسبة لهم نعتمد على الأناشيد بالنسبة للصفوف الأولى، بعدين نعتمد على تدريس النصوص الأدبية. بنراعي كتير، إحنا بنحب داخل اللغة العربية ندخل الكالتشر اللي هي الثقافة من الثقافات المتنوعة. بنشجع الطلاب بالنسبة للصفوف العالية على الطباعة، على الترجمة، على قراءة النصوص، كتابة الشعر، كتابة التعبير. الأولاد إن شاء الله بيحبوا اللغة العربية. إحنا حرصنا على تدريس اللغة العربية كلغة ثانية في مدارس حميدي حتى يتم التواصل بين وطن الاغتراب وفي الوطن العربي وفي أمريكا، بحيث إنه بتكون إحنا سعادتنا كتير كبيرة لما إحنا نشوف الأهل بيجوا عنا بيقولوا إحنا والله بالنسبة لنا لما مع التقدم ومع التواصل الاجتماعي والله ابننا كتير كانت مثلا الجدة فرحانة كتير لما ابني تواصلها معها بالواتساب، كان كتير مبسوط لما ابني تواصل مثلا مع بسكايب لما كان يتحدث اللغة العربية. فالولد عندنا لما بيدرس اللغة العربية مش عم بيشعر إنه هو موجود في دولة أجنبية، وهذا بيكون إنه فخر واعتزاز. بالنسبة إلنا إحنا بالعربي طبعا دائم إحنا على تدريب معلمات اللغة العربية، بعدين إحنا دائما أنا بتفقد الخطط اللسن بلان الموجودة للمعلمات. أي حدا في عنده أي مشكلة أي إشي إن شاء الله بنحلها. التواصل مع الأهالي دائم من قبلي أنا، من قبل الطلاب، من قبل المعلمات، من قبل الإدارة. مبسوطين كتير في تدريس اللغة العربية، وهيدي فرحة إلنا كبير إن شاء الله، يعني بنكون أكتر بمدارسنا أكتر بننتشر تدريس اللغة العربية. وأهلا وسهلا فيكم كلياتكم. ومن الأهالي اللي بيحبوا يتصلوا فيه طبعا التليفون موجود، وأهلا وسهلا بالجميع. وفرحتنا بتكون كبيرة بوجود الأهل وبوجود الطلاب، وإن شاء الله مدارس حميدي بتكون من تقدم إلى تقدم. أهلا بالجميع.
Thank you, Mama Nadia. And I'm so proud of our Arabic language and what we're doing with our students. And Mama Nadia, of course, works with the district. And she works with, hi, Mr. Sharafuddin. She works with our Haas building students and our George students. She works with other buildings as well. And she continues to work tirelessly with teachers on training to make sure that our children receive what they need. And if you need to reach her, she does have two phone numbers that you can reach her on for this. For Haas, Mr. Sharafuddin, if you can put that PowerPoint back on. Thank you. For Haas, 724-8990. And for George, for students in pre-K through second grade, 724-8060. And of course, you can always reach her on her email, Hamdan@starpsa.org. Mrs. Darwiche is next, and she was having difficulties. I don't know if Miss Irvin, if Miss Darwiche is by you, she can. Yeah, awesome. I can see her. Miss Darwiche, can you take over for a second and introduce yourself to everybody? We can actually see you, Miss Irvin, on the camera. Oh, you just have to unmute though. Oh, it's not unmuting. This is Mrs. Darwiche, so I'll just speak for her. So unfortunately, I think we're all familiar with the technical difficulties, and we've lived through them through the pandemic. We've seen what happened when we're trying to log on to Google Classroom and whatnot. And so both Miss Irvin and Mrs. Darwiche are having technical difficulties today. But you all know Mrs. Darwiche. You contacted her before about uniform vouchers, contracts, uniform sales, and all. And so this is Ms. Darwiche right there. Say hi again. There we go. And she can be contacted as well you can call the school to leave a message, or you can email her directly at rdarwiche@starpsa.org. And here's Mr. Sharafuddin again. Hi. Looks like you're traveling somewhere.
Hi.
All right. And Miss Irvin is actually next on this list since your mic isn't working. You can see Miss Irvin waving hi to everybody. She's our early childhood specialist. She joined us this year. We're so happy to have her join us this year to work with our preschoolers, our precious youngsters. She works with the GSRP program. A lot of you have probably already talked to her in regards to enrolling your child in the GSRP program. This is how she can be contacted: 724-8060. Call our phone number to leave a message if she's not available, or you can email her at irvin@starpsa.org. All right. Miss Jordan.
Yes, it's me. Hi, everyone. My name is Maissa Jordan. I am the nutritionist and school food service coordinator at Star Academy, George. I plan and the menu that meets nutrition guideline, USDA nutrition guideline, and the Michigan Education Department guideline. So we ensure that our kids are getting 1/4 of the requirement from the breakfast program and 1/3 of the requirement from the lunch program. Basically, it's half of the requirement per day. They get it from us, so we make sure they get the most nutritious meal they could get from us. We are here for you. There is my contact information. You find it on the slide. You could contact me via email or call me anytime. We're here to hear from you and make your kids happy and healthy. And that's it.
Thank you, Mrs. Jordan. In terms of the lunch menu, when do you post that on Close Dojo?
I'm working on it this week, and it should be posted for the next week for the month of October.
Excellent. And some of you have inquired in regards to updates. If, let's say, the lunch menu changes for that day, Ms. Jordan, how often can we update, or is it possible to make an update on the day?
We're trying our best. There is shortage everywhere with the chain and all the supplies. Sometimes we're not getting an order on time, so there is like quick change. There is always changes, but we'll try our best.
Thank you so much. Yes, we with the shortages, there may be changes. We can't, the food service staff, they work really hard to make sure that our kiddos are fed, and breakfast and lunch. But sometimes with the shortages that are happening, it's really hard to tell if they do not receive the shipment, what's going to happen. They're going to have to change that menu on the spot. So it's not always easy for them to post that change immediately, because they're busy making the kiddos foods and making sure that everybody's, everyone's eating their getting their meal for the day. So that's why we want to make sure that we want you to bear with us. Yep, bear with us. If you see the menu and there's something on that your child doesn't eat, you can actually send food with them, and let us know if you have questions. And Mrs. Jordan, also, you can call us.
I'm always here to hear from them and better ourselves.
Yes, absolutely, and that goes for all of us. And Mr. Sharafuddin, can we get the PowerPoint back on, please, for Ms. Jordan's contact information? Thank you so much. You can always email her directly or call this school. She's really good about picking up, answering your questions if she's not up and around helping and servicing our students. And last but not least, Ms. Safaa Alhucheimi, go ahead.
Hi everyone, so my name is Safaa Alhucheimi, and many of you may know me from the outside when I am doing morning arrival and dismissal arrival. A lot of the parents, I ask them not to park in the drop-off lane, so that's where you know me from. But I am the coordinator for tutorial ESL and Title III programs. So if you have any question about our EL program, I'll be more than happy to help you with that. And if your child has received a paper that looks like this is a WIDA score result. So if your child has received this and you need help to understand what the scoring is and what your child is capable of doing, please contact me. You may call the office and they'll transfer you to me, and then I'll be more than happy to go over the results and explain what our EL services are in the school, as well as what the WIDA results are and how you can help your child by looking at them. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact me.
Thank you, Ms. Alhucheimi. And one question for you that some parents may have is, how do students get identified, or do all students get tested on WIDA?
Not all students get tested on WIDA, and the reason why is when parents fill out the home language survey and the beginning of before they apply on the enrollment application, that's how we identify students as LEP. So I will look at each child's enrollment application, and if they have a language other than English, I would go ahead and screen them, and based off of the screener, that's how they become identified to test the WIDA assessment.
Thank you. And one more question for you. So let's say a child is identified as LEP, you test them on WIDA, and the parents do not want services. Can we also not test them on WIDA?
So if a parent does not want services, they have every right to decline the services. However, the WIDA assessment, it has to be taken in February, so we cannot exit them from WIDA unless their child scores a 4.8 overall on the assessment. So then the next school year, they would be exited from taking the test.
Thank you so much. And a lot of you have these questions. Parents, if you get a message from your child's teacher or your EL teacher saying that your child is in EL services, you have the absolute right to decline the services. However, the WIDA is a state assessment, and it's mandatory for students who speak a language other than English. And if you had that identified on the application, that's what we use to go from and identify students and screen them and test them on the WIDA assessment. Just so you know, in case you have that question. And of course, Ms. Alhucheimi's contact information is on the slide. If Mr. Sharafuddin can show that. If you have questions on LEP services, on WIDA, and tutorial services, please feel free to call the office and ask to speak to Ms. Safaa Alhucheimi, or you can email her on her email, salhucheimi@starpsa.org. And then one other thing before we actually sign off, or two other things, I want to go back to Mrs. Bazzi. Mrs. Bazzi, our students are working on NWEA. When will they be finished with their assessment, just so that our parents know?
Thank you, Ms. Alsamari. Yes, we are continuing NWEA. We still have some makeups in the process. October 1st will be the last group of students that will be testing. So hopefully beginning of next month.
And then teachers will share the results with the students, students and parents. That way you can get the results at home. If you have questions on them, guess who to call? Mrs. Bazzi. She'll be able to answer your questions. And of course, please, I want to remind everybody, while all of us are ready and here to support you and answer your questions, your first person, your first line of communication should be the classroom teacher, because chances are they have the answer, the better answer than what we know, because they know your child. They work with your child on a daily basis. They know them much more than we do. We try our best to work and support with our teachers, with our students, but keep in mind, your child's teacher is the best contact person. Try them first. Get that Class Dojo application on your phone if you don't have it. Connect with your classroom teacher. Get communication going. We are a team and we want to work together. We want to continue that partnership, as I always call it. It is a partnership, and it takes all of us working together to make it a great learning year for our students. I also wanted to mention we have a new drop-off location. We have the same door. Door number 1 is always open for in the morning. Drop off your children. Door number two for pre-K, that's going to continue to be the same process. That does not change. However, if you have a child who's in kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade, and you have a sibling also at Haas, feel free to drive from Haas, get into the back parking lot, and just drive into that circle, drop them off and go. Somebody will be out there on Monday, starting Monday, to help you. If you have a pre-K child, you must park in the parking lot in the front and bring them to that same door. That does not change. That way we can make sure all of our kiddos are in the building safely, having breakfast with their teachers, and then they're back with you at home at the end of the day. I think we have come to the end of our program here. Anything else, team? Anybody wants to add? Are we good? We're good?
We encourage all the parents and the students to speak all the time Arabic with your kids. Speak Arabic, because Arabic is very important here.
Yeah.
Thank you. شايفين الكل عم بيحكي انجليزي ما عدا ماما نادية.
No, I like to add that I could speak Arabic.
أهلا وسهلا
إذا
فيكم.
في أهل بحبوا يحكوا معي بالعربي أي وقت أنا بسمعه وبحكي عربي ومثلي مثلهم يعني، وإذا مش قادرين يتعاطوا معي بالإنجليزي يعني.
Also, if you need help with Class Dojo, feel free to come in and then someone will help you. I'll be more than happy to help, because Class Dojo is your source to communicate with your teachers, with your child's teacher. So please have Class Dojo.
Yes, and Mama Nadia, thanks for the reminder. Most of us speak Arabic, even though we're doing the English today. We do speak Arabic, and we can help you translate with whatever you need and communicate with you and help answer your questions. Thank you so much, leadership team at SIA George. Keep up the great work. Thank you, parents. Thank you, students, and see you all on Monday.
Thank you.
HES Academies have been serving the Detroit metro area for over 23 years, promoting academic excellence, leadership, and cultural diversity, ranking as some of the top schools in the state of Michigan. Our pre-K through 12th grade students enjoy tuition-free, state-accredited education by STEM-certified and highly qualified staff with no geographical restrictions, and with advanced placement, college dual enrollment, scholarship, and Arabic language programs. Noor International Academy in Sterling Heights at niapsa.org, Star International Academy in Dearborn Heights and in Canton at starpsa.org, Universal Academy in Detroit at universalpsa.org, and Universal Learning Academy in Westland at ulapsa.org. Join HES Academies today and enjoy a free Chromebook for every enrolled student.